Today, in the commemoration of this blessed Saint Verena, I'll just read with you her story. It is updated if you have the Coptic reader. Before, the story of Saint Verena was not there. With the effort of Amba Sarabian, I think you have the wireless. With the effort of Amba Sarabian, our beloved Metropolitan, he had this in his mind to add those great saints who are not listed in the Synaxarium to be added and to be well known for everyone. On this day, it will be Thursday, the real day, or the main feast of Saint Verena, or Tooth Fourth. On this day, the missionary saint, the pure bride of Christ, and the teacher, the deacons, the pure bride of Christ and teacher of cleanliness and hygiene, Saint Verena departed. And this saint was born in the village of Gargos in the Theban region, in area called Theban, and that's why they called the Theban legion with the L for the group of soldiers that were descending from the same location, Theba, or the Theban legion. To Christian parents, and they called her Verena, which means, do you know what the meaning? Sit down. Do you know the meaning of Verena is what? The good fruit. The meaning of the word Verena is the good fruit. The good fruit. Which means the good fruit or the dainty fruit, and raised her up according to the Christian verses, and she was baptized by a bishop. His name is Fr.Paul, the holy bishop of Niles, who oversaw her education and the religious upbringing. She grew steadfastly in grace and faith, and during that time large number of Christians declared their faith before the Roman rulers and were martyred and received the crown of martyrdom. The first virtue that we learn from Saint Verena is coming. Saint Verena visited those who are imprisoned and ministered unto their needs. Visitation for those who are in need and those who are in prison. And she also longed to receive her share in persecution and in martyrdom, but God didn't permit this because God had a different plan for her. During the reign of Emperor Diocletian from 284 till 305, the fame of the Theban legion, not the region, the legion, the whole troop became very well known, and the legion was headed by Saint Maurice, who was known for his courage and godliness. And the emperor ordered that the Theban legion, led by Saint Maurice, to move from Egypt in Theba, nearby Luxor, all the way to Europe, in the western region of Europe, because to assist the emperor Maximian in defeating the revolt by the place called Baky, south of France. And the legion, the Theban legion, was made of 6,600 soldiers. So 6,600 soldiers. And Saint Verena joined the Theban legion in the mission to Europe so as to take care of those who are wounded. So first she was visiting the prisons. Second, she was accompanying the whole troop to take care of the wounded. And when the legion arrived there, Maximian was then residing in nearby city called Octurdon, and he ordered the commander Saint Maurice and the members of the legion to offer sacrifices to God before engaging in the war. As a custom in the war in that time, they pushed Saint Maurice, the leader, to offer sacrifices, and when he refused the emperor became enraged, and he asked to kill 10th of the soldiers by force. So they count 1, then 10, number 10, they will kill number 10, then they will count till 20, number 20 will be killed, and so forth. Why they are doing this? To scare the rest. To make them see what this is the destination of those people. You need to take an action and change your path. But the amazing thing that the more they killed from the Theban legion, the more they are steadfast in their faith. The more they are martyred, the more they are strong in their faith. And they killed all the Theban legion, including Saint Maurice, the 6,600 soldiers all together. And I don't think that in any time you are going to ask for the intercession of anyone that you will be able to capture more than 6,600 martyrs at the same time. So the asking for the intercession of the Theban legion is very, very powerful, and it's a very, very strong group of righteous men who were very strong, who was very successful, who was on the top of notch in their career in that time, but they chose God, not the world. So the emperor, in the end, he ordered that Saint Maurice will be killed, and all the rest of the Theban legion. And Saint Maurice played a major role in this. He was strengthening all the soldiers, the leadership, and this was, I think this was one of the reasons of how, if you remember the 21 martyrs in Libya, they had also a leader, and this leader was supporting them, helping them, strengthening them in their faith. And it tells you how, if you are, I think Saint Macarius said, if you are surrounding yourself with hyenas, you will be doing the same voice of the hyenas, or barking, or doing the same voice. But if you are surrounding yourself with people who are righteous, you will live a righteous life like them. It's whom you are with. It is whom, and this is the key. The role of Saint Maurice with how he strengthened the faith of the Theban legion was very, very remarkable. And this what happened also with the 21 martyrs, in the Coptic martyrs in Libya a few years back, because also the role of, there was a leader for them, and he strengthened them all, those who are struggling. After killing all the Theban legion, now Saint Verena is alone, and she doesn't have anything to do. So, as usual, starting and loving God that much, she was particularly concerned about the young girls in the area that she was living in. She guided them and taught them the basics of chastity, living a pure life, and also a clean life as well. And this is the third virtue. So it was all about service. She served those who are in prison in the beginning. She served with the troops or the Theban legion, and also she served in her community outside of the people who are living in that time. She served them to live a pure life, and she served them also living a clean and hygienic life as well. As a result of the fame of her ministry and the holiness of her life, the ruler arrested her, imprisoned her, and the martyr Saint Maurice appeared to her to console her, and then she was released from the prison. To escape the vainglory of she was also later released after the Lord healed on her hands the governor from an illness. So she did miracle to in the life of the governor. Then she was released from the prison, and to escape from the vainglory, and it tells you how humble she was. She fled to an island at the conversions of the rivers of Ir and Rahim. She lived in a small hut, taking care of the sick and the needy. And Saint Verena then left the island because it was infested with serpents and scorpions, and she went to a city of Zorzach, in the canton of Arago in Switzerland, which is nearby Zurich, and where she lived in a house next to the church of the Virgin St. Mary, and the priest of the parish entrusted to her to take care of the poor and the sick, and she cared for them, also living a clean life and nursing them because of her experience in nursing also those who are wounded. Nevertheless, the devil envied her and moved her fellow servants to plot against her. The Lord always revealed her innocence, and later on she lived a solitary life in a cave where she lived for 11 years in asceticism and worship. So you see the life of monastic life, you see the life of service, you see the life of service to the church, you see the life of service to the community, you see the life of service to even the people who are around her and everywhere. Many came to receive the blessing of her prayers, and many sought her counsel. We'll have 1 minute. And the Holy Virgin St. Mary appeared to her before she departs, and some of the virgins, and she told her about the blessing of the eternal life and the joy of the paradise. And St. Verena rose, kneeled before St. Mary, and she told her, I am not worthy for the Mother of God to come to me, the servant. And the Theotokos St. Mary told her to reward you for your faithfulness in your service to the Lord Jesus Christ. And look, God is looking to how faithful we are. It is not how successful you are. It is not how much money you make. It is not how much services you do. It is not how famous you are. It is not how well known, how popular. All of this doesn't count. It is how faithful you are. And being faithful is encompassing all the life of all the saints and all those who lived a righteous life. Faithful in what you think of. Faithful in what you look at. Faithful in what you listen to. Faithful in what you say. Faithful in what you touch. Faithful in what you do with your hands, whether you are working, you are studying, you are serving. Faithful in where you go. Faithful in the money that God has given you. Faithful in the children that God has entrusted you. Faithful to your spouse, faithful to your wife, faithful to your kids, faithful to your church. It encompasses everything. And if we lost faithfulness, if we lost al-amana, then we lost everything. And this is the measure that we will be. Do you know when kids are in water park and there are some risky rides, so they have a measuring the mark, or like above 42 inch, you go in, below 42, you don't go. This is a long time back. So the measuring mark that God is going to measure us on is faithfulness. There is no other mark. Being faithful in the things that you do. And sometimes when you are not focusing on faithfulness and looking to different other aspects in your life, unfortunately it doesn't work. St. Mary is appealing to St. Verena, and she is humbling herself in front of our holy Theotokos St. Mary, doing Imatania, and she is telling to her, I'm a servant. Why this? I don't deserve this. And St. Mary is telling her, because of your faithfulness. And I think if we will not learn anything from the story of St. Verena, but just focus on faithfulness. And ask yourself in the end of every day, am I faithful in the things that God has entrusted me with? My schools, my studies, in my money, in my emotions, in my time. Or I am wasting time, or I am wasting my life. May God give me and give each one of us that we will learn from St. Verena this beautiful, diversified way of service. She was serving everywhere and anywhere with everyone. Unbelievable. And the thread or the theme that is connecting all the services that she did was being faithful in it. To whom is the glory forever and ever. Amen.